Hey, it is the Fantasy NBA today, brought to you by FanDuel, Rick Kamla and Steve Alexander, Hall of Famer. What's up, bro? We are getting down like it's the crack of dawn, man. Let's go. Let's give the people the live fantasy goodies. Dr. Ray, what's happening with you, brother?
Well, we were supposed to meet an hour ago today, but I slept through that memo. So I'm here now. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do some more player debates. Ready to talk about FanDuel. I'm ready for my football drafts, which are coming up soon. I'm just ready to go.
Speaking of that, I'm going to be multitasking as of noon. I'm in I think I need to accept the invite to this league too. I'm drinking out of a fire hose right now, bro. It's crazy and wild. I have a college football fantasy draft tomorrow night. John Michael's League, ATL Radio. I won 3 in a row, Doc, then lost the championship game last year. So I'm looking for a 4 out of 5 joint. Kind of own that league, but I didn't win the bag last year. And I had a big number in the championship game. Like, my team played well. I just went up against an absolute dragon, dude. Like, he had 2 guys like rack up 100 points. It was crazy. I was like, there's nothing I can do here. This guy just kicked my ass this week. Want to give a little word of the wise out to you guys watching on Twitter. Thank you. We love that you're watching us on Twitter. Little heads up. Not every offseason episode is going to be available on this platform. The smarter thing to do, or an additional thing to do, subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed. We need you to do that. It would be very helpful. Thank you. Subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed to catch every episode and stay in the loop. Get our YouTube channel. Go to sportsethos.com. Subscribe to our work over there as well. Doc, a couple of newsy notes before we dive into player debates and we rank some more of these sort of specifically randomly selected groups, right? We got the injury scare over the weekend with Luka Doncic, the right knee contusion. He's limping, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's like, oh my God, including me. And so he was cleared for practice. Then he played yesterday. Whose ass did they kick? Great Britain. I don't even know the score of the game. I don't really care. What I know is that Luka Doncic, Doc, had 28, 6 and 10 points, rebounds, assists in 28 minutes. So we can all breathe again. Luka's Luka, bro.
Luka's gonna Luka. I was not worried about it. Again, it was a knee contusion. Contusion is a bruise. I somehow managed to stay very calm and cool throughout that whole scare. I was not too worried. And the fact he played in a friendly that it didn't even matter. It's great news. He's good to go.
It is absolutely phenomenal news. We over here have Luka Doncic over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Most of you don't. You're making the wrong move if you take SGA over Luka. I will die on that hill. I will say that until next June. For fantasy, not reality, for fantasy. Shout out to our boy Rick Carlisle, Doc. Signs a multi-year extension with the Indiana Pacers. Rick Carlisle's my boy. He's the coach with which I'm the most friendly. He's a deadhead, bro. I think he's a musician. I think he plays piano or something. So we kind of connect that way. Anyway, shout out to my boy, Rick Carlisle. He's a GOAT. He'll be a Hall of Famer one day. I think he's going to enter, Doc, probably pretty soon, the 1,000-win club. Is he at 900? I don't know, Andre. Where's he at? He's got to be at 870, 902, something like that. Shout out to Rick Carlisle, Doc.
Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle gave me his shoes one time. Did you know that?
I did not, dude. Everybody. Wait, whoa.
I know.
Go ahead on the Carlisle shoes. He's saying he's already got 1,000 wins. Yeah, can we just go regular season on that? What's the regular season win total? Go ahead, Doc.
So, Carlisle, it was wintertime. The Pacers were playing Boston. I was down at Market Square Arena. Tried to get Larry Bird's shoes. I got Larry Bird's autograph that day and on a Sports Illustrated cover. That was the only time Larry ever signed for me. Larry was very hard to get. And I gave that Sports Illustrated cover to a friend of mine as a wedding gift, and it got stolen off the wedding gift table that night.
Shut the front door. Are you serious right now?
Yeah. So neither one of us have that Larry Bird autographed Sports Illustrated cover, nor do we know where it is. Somebody stole it.
Oh my God.
So Carlisle, I'm a kid. I'm like a 14, 15-year-old kid. And I'm like, hey, Rick, you think I can get your shoes at the game? He's like, no. And I was like, okay. And I turned around and walked away. He goes, hey, come here. And I go, what's up? And he goes, I'll give them to you for $50. And I go,
wait a second.
Are you serious? Like, really? And he's like, yeah, you give me $50, I'll give you the shoes. And I'm like, no, dude, I don't have $50. I'm not doing that. So I turn around and walk away again. He goes, hey, man, come here. I turn around and go back. He goes, I'll give them to you. I'm just kidding. I'm like, okay. And the whole thing was just weird. I didn't even really know what to think about it. It was very annoying. And so after the game, he comes out of the locker room and he hands me his black Converse. They're white on the inside, black on the outside with white stars. And so I was so annoyed by him. I didn't even want him to autograph them. He gave them to me and I took them. I said, thanks, and turned around and started walking away. He goes, hey. And I turn around again. I'm like, what? He goes, come here. And he pulls out a Sharpie and he autographs both of the shoes on the inside. And he goes, here, I don't want you to go selling those like they're Larry Birds.
Dude, I'm so glad Rick Carlisle got a multi-year extension. And I'm so glad we talked about this. That story's incredible, dude. You got bleeped with by Rick Carlisle way back in the day. Dude, think about the group that he was with. Bird, Mikal, Parrish, Ainge, DJ, all those guys. Dude, and I say this with love and affection. That was a team full of a-holes. Right? All of those guys. They were bullies. They were mean. They were awesome. And that's why they were so successful. Like they were prickly guys. You know what I'm saying? They weren't trying to be friends with like the opponents they were playing against and stuff. So because you meet Carlisle now, dude, he ain't that guy he was as a player, right? Giving you a hard time and kind of messing you around.
I don't know, but the ending of that story is I no longer have Rick Carlisle's shoes. They're the only pair that was given to me that I don't have outside of Terrence Stansberry's, who got stolen while I was at college. I traded Rick Carlisle's game-worn NBA shoes for a pair of Adrian Dantleys.
Okay. So Dantley Hall of Famer as a player, Carlisle will be a Hall of Famer as a coach. Do you still have the Dantley shoes?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, when you talk to the auctioneer or whatever, maybe you get a nice number for those Adrian Dantley. Dude, remember Dantley at the free throw line, brah? He used to caress the ball and then he'd like rock it. And he was a phenomenal free throw shooter. But man, he had one of the coolest free throw things, bro. He'd like feel it in his hands for a minute and be like, yeah, that's the sweet spot. Whoosh. And just pop that baby in there.
Dantley was a baller.
Like a 6'4" power forward type, just in the paint, like up fakes and like herky jerky. That guy's a badass.
Carlisle was sort of like a little bulldog. Like he was the bulldog on the Celtics. Like he was like Peyton Pritchard kind of.
Totally feisty.
Scott Skiles.
Yeah, and like in football terms, like the special teamer that makes all the plays, right? Who was the guy in the Bills? Tasker. You remember Steve Tasker?
Steve Tasker, yeah.
Yeah, like Rick Carlisle was a Steve Tasker type guy. Just like not a stat guy, but he'd make plays that would help them win. 993 victories for Rick Carlisle, by the way. 993.
Good call by you.
So he will get 1,000 probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the season.
Does he have more NBA wins as a coach than he scored points in the NBA?
That is another fantastic question. Golly, is that a good one, dude? I'm going to say more points in the NBA. But
So he had to score
what's your answer
1,000
on
points.
that?
How many years did he play?
I don't know, 8, 10, something like that. I don't have his resume in front of me.
That's 100 points a year. He should have more points. I'm gonna go under. I'm just for the sake of argument, I'm gonna go under. You're going over. You think Andre's working on that for us?
Just in case he's not, I am.
Hello.
Does he have the total? Let's go to. Oh man, Rick Carlisle barely played at all, dude. He played 5 years, 422 points. I think he had injuries and stuff because he was a big-time player at Virginia. But yeah, 5 years, and one of the years he missed, I believe, with an injury. His 5th year did not play, and then he came back and only played 5 games. But he got a chip, and he was on one of the most famous teams of all time, the 1986 Boston Celtics. Got himself a ring as a player. But yeah, his win total as a coach has shattered his point total as a player. That was well spotted by you, Doc. 2.5 times a greater number for Rick Carlisle. All right, Doc, we've got several more player debates to get to here. We love y'all. We're the Fantasy NBA today. We're the GOATs, Rick Kamla and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We've got player debates. We've got some group rankings for you and more good times and possibly more thought bubble conversations that we know you all love so much. Doc, we start with Alperen Sengun versus Donovan Clingan. Is this because I know you're not a huge Alpy guy, so I wanted to put these two guys together. They're different stat sets. Klingan's on the come up. I think I like him maybe more than you do. But for me, this is a decision. Is this a decision for you?
Yes. And I don't even really know what I would do in the heat of the moment, but I've got Sengun higher on my list, so I'm going to take Sengun. Sengun is falling into that Sabonis mold where you don't get a lot of the Wemby stats, but you get a pretty good PRA. But now we have Kevin Durant in Houston. I don't know what that does to Sengun's PRA. Clingan is, like, as you said, on the come up. Like he's all upside and youth, and not that Sengun is old, but I think I'm taking Sengun. But if I was specifically at a spot in the draft where I was like, man, I don't have any blocks, I really need to go get some blocks, I think I would take Clingan. But in a nutshell, I would go Sengun over Clingan.
I mean, I love the breakdown. I would go Sengun because the known looks pretty freaking good. The known is like 20, 10, and 5. That's the known. A PRA of 30 is very, very good. There's upside, Doc, in the steal category for Sengun. A little bit, I feel like he could maybe get to 1.2, 1.3. He's got good hands. He's just not a shot blocker, right? He's more on the ground, like he'll do a dig down as opposed to, going up high to block a shot. He's just different that way. I think the 3-ball game eventually will expand for Sengun. He can hit a 3. We've seen Marc Gasol, Brook Lopez. We've seen some guys like add that midstream, and just like Jason Kidd did, bro. He didn't come into the league with a 3-ball. He ended up, being 2.5 a game. He's now one of the all-time leaders in 3-balls. So you can develop that, and I feel like Alperen Sengun is going to develop that. And perhaps we get a little jump start on that this year. Obviously, Bam Adebayo and Evan Mobley made that 3-ball leap that we're looking for last year. Maybe Alpy can take that leap this year. So, but I go Alpy over Clingan, Doc, because there are still questions. How much playing time can Donovan Clingan handle? Does Chauncey Billups trust him? He's got other buttons that he can push with Robert Williams, Yang Hansen, and Duop Reith. I love Donovan Clingan, but Doc, there's no downside with Alperen Sengun. It's just, do you like his stat line or not? You see what I'm saying? Like, there's not downside with him, though. He's not an injury type of guy. He plays hurt. He's on a team in the championship fast lane. Like, it's just all good. And then we got this little block steal problem over here. So I'm going to take Alpi Sengun over Donovan Clingan.
There is a block steal problem, but it might be fixable. Like, it could get better. So, but yeah, like you said, very reliable, very consistent. You know exactly what you're getting with Sengun.
I mean, so think about this. Alpi last year, 1.1 steals. The year before, 1.2 steals. He's been at 0.8, 0.7 blocks. So his combined defensive stats are right around 2. It's actually 1.9. That's not horrible. It's not. Like, Julius Randle's is way worse. Zach LaVine's is way worse. 0.3 three balls for Sengun, shot 23%. So, I think we got to be patient with the three ball with Alpi, but I go Alpi over Clingan. Alpi is a pretty good steal guy, so there's that. Okay, so let's put Donovan Clingan, Doc, against Mark Williams here.
That's a good one. The thing with the thing with Mark Williams is he played 43 games. His first year, he played 19 games the next year, and he played 44 games last year. So that's a huge problem. We've made fun of him. We've called him a ghost. We couldn't identify him if somebody showed us a picture of him, etc. But last year, those 44 games he played were pretty friggin' good. And I was impressed and a little bit surprised at how good he was. 15 points, 10 boards, 1.2 blocks, and 0.7 steals. Like, that was awesome. He basically played the same amount of games that Kawhi Leonard played. And I'm high on Kawhi Leonard this year. I feel like Leonard's going to give us a full season. Mark Williams, I'm not as convinced on that he's going to be there for the whole season. I really like Clingan's potential. Both of these guys are on an island. They're on crappy teams where they're gonna get the ball a lot. So I'm gonna go with Clingan here. But if Mark Williams is healthy and going off in the preseason, I could flip the switch there.
I get all that, my brother. Mark Williams was a 15-10 guy last year. I think trying to think on Phoenix. Can he get to 15 PPG on Phoenix? You got Booker and Green, and then third option. Why is this freaking blanking me right now? Dylan Brooks, who's going to get some shots up. And then you have Ryan Dunn, and you have Mark Williams. Can he get to 15? I don't know. Probably more like 13, 14. I mean, he put up the 15 on Charlotte, okay? Maybe that's not there with the firepower in Phoenix, but 13-10, 13-11. So then that takes me to Donovan Clingan, Doc. I think Donovan Clingan can be about 13-11. Now let's go to blocks. That's where it happens for Clingan for me. Clingan has 2.5 block potential, which is league-winning, game-changing, all of this stuff. Like, dude, think about it. If Clingan goes 13-10 with 2.4 blocks, we are going to fall head over heels in love with this guy as a ball player. Pause. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna swing for the fences with those blocks, dude. I'm hoping to get that Walker Kessler line, that old school Rudy Gobert line, where you're getting the robust double-double and you're getting 2.2, 2.4, 2.5. So I say Clingan.
We agree.
And let's move on, Doc. Okay, here's another fun center player battle. Mark Williams and Walker Kessler.
Same thing. I like Kessler's blocks. I like Kessler's game. I like the fact that Kessler ticked off or let down a lot of fantasy people 2 years ago, and they're still mad at him. So I think he falls a little bit more than he should. I like Walker Kessler there.
I had a question for you. Who has more potential downside here? Like, who's the higher risk player? Because I want to go more to the bottom than the top. Because I agree with you. I'm going Kessler here as well. But we know that Kessler has built-in gravitational pull, which happens in March and April when that stupid-ass Utah Jazz team tanks every year. Okay. And then for Mark Williams, it's the lack of availability. So which of those two downsides is like heavier for you?
Mark Williams. I mean, he's played one season's worth of games in 3 seasons. Like that's the bottom line. That's who I'm most scared of.
It's a great point, dude. I agree, dude. Hopefully, can somebody please come rescue Walker Kessler out of Utah? Can somebody in the league muster a couple of first-round picks that reportedly will take? How has somebody not already offered up 2 first-round picks for Walker Kessler? Like, I'm going to give you my 2030. I'm going to give you my 2032. How has that not happened already for Walker Kessler? You're not even going to care about those picks. Anyway, I would take Kessler as well. This one gets interesting, Doc. Nick Claxton and Jalen Duren.
I feel like Claxton is one of your boys. Like if you were going to write on my guys column, I feel like Claxton may be at the bottom of it. I'm going to go Jalen Duren just because of the hype and the upside, and everybody keeps telling me it's coming, but I still haven't seen it. Like I'm not sold on Duren, but I'll go Duren over Claxton because I know I think I know what I'm going to get from Claxton. Plus I like the fact Duren is playing for the Pistons and has a defined role that we can wrap our heads around. And for the Pistons to go to the next level, like they were really good last year, for them to go take it up a notch, they need for Duren to be really, really good. So I like the possibilities there.
He needs to be more like Ben Wallace, bro. No fly zone. Yep. Flexing in the paint, bro. Blocking shots, getting steals, being a defensive presence. I didn't like how his playing time dipped last year, and Isaiah Stewart's playing time went up. And that looked, on some nights, kind of timeshare-ish. I do realize that Jalen Duren had a double-double, had a decent stat line, but the stat line wasn't what it was the year before when Detroit sucked. They got good. They had good players. They had to share, the wealth and stuff like that. That's going to be the case again this year. Duncan Robinson off the bench, Karis LeVert off the bench, Jaden Ivey is coming back for this team. So scoring options are still going to be limited for this guy. The rebounds are going to be there. The blocks aren't going to be there. He just has not shown, Doc, an ability or a tendency or anything, a willingness to go block shots. So I'm always going for the blocks. So this is a very easy one for me. I'm going Claxton. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably not going to get a double-double that looks like Jalen Duren from Nick Claxton. If Jalen Duren is at 12 and 11 and a half, Claxton may be 10 and 9. All right. But I'm looking for 1.8 blocks. I'm looking for 2 blocks, 2.1 blocks from Nick Claxton. And look, Doc, I'm betting on, it's a hunch. All right. Claxton had 2 straight years with 2+ blocks. So my hunch is substantiated. It's not wild and from another planet. He's done this twice, Doc. And last year was different. It was just the hit rock bottom year for the Nets. And again, I just think he lost interest and kind of checked out. So the hope is, the hunch is that he's going to kind of get back mentally here, Doc, and get back to 2 blocks a game. Now, we're going to know very, very quickly. If in that first Nets box score, I see Nick Claxton, 25 minutes, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 1 block, I'm going to be sad because my hunch was wrong. We're going to know right away, dude. Does Claxton come out like a tiger? Boom, 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 blocking shots. Oh, shit. Did you see Claxton last night? Had 5 blocks, bro. No, I didn't see Claxton. He plays for Brooklyn. I'm not watching one Brooklyn game this year. Not one. And I'm boycotting Utah. Screw you. I shouldn't say it that way. I love you guys in Utah, like Salt Lake City, hugs and kisses. I don't like the fact that Danny Ainge has ruined your team. Okay, one of the goats of GMing in all of sports has completely lost his way, like Bill Belichick, and that's why Bill Belichick is now the coach. Do you even know where he's coaching? You don't. North Carolina. Okay, and nobody cares about the North Carolina Tar Heels college football team. Absolutely nobody outside of Chapel Hill. That is. Doc, I got another one for you here. Sorry, I kind of went off there.
I'm going to try not to draft any Brooklyn Nets this year. That is a goal that I have.
I have a goal not to watch any Brooklyn Nets basketball. Except for Doc, the preseason. I do want to get my eye on these rookie guards. Your boy Demon or whatever his name is, Igor Demin. Yigor Demin. Here comes Andre with the pronunciation, but the top 10 pick that Brooklyn had. I kind of want to peep him in the preseason and see if this guy's get any game at all. But when we get to the regular season, like we say, Doc, like, and we watch a ton of hoops, you guys. But there are box score only situations. And the Brooklyn Nets 25-26 season for us mostly will be a box score situation.
Yeah. I'll catch them. I'll catch the highlights later. I'm not watching that game.
Dude, I ain't even trying to watch highlights. Oh, Cam Thomas with a pull-up mid-range jumper. Ooh, Cam Thomas hit a heater in the third quarter. Pop with 2 threes. Oh, what a highlight rip. They don't have any highlights on that team, Doc. Oh, Igor Demin, whatever his name is, came down and lobbed to Nick Claxton for an alley-oop flush that we've seen 10.5 million times in our careers watching the NBA. There's nothing sexy or exciting about this team, dude. I don't want to watch. Box score only, bro. And we ain't going to be messing with too many of these players or advocating them. Okay, all right, let's get back to work here. Back to the rundownage. So you're Duran, I'm Claxton on that one. I saw this one, Doc, in my rankings, and I was like, let's fire up a little Herb Jones and Bilal Coulibaly. Okay, we're deep, dude. We're deep. 10th round. I don't know. We're deep in the draft. Okay, where you kind of can go for specialists, right? I need a 3 guy. I need a steal guy. I need a one more block guy, right? That zone of the draft. Who are you taking, Bilal or who's the other guy I said here?
Herb Jones.
Bilal or Herb?
I'm going with Bilal Coulibaly. I like the upside. I like the unknown element with him. He's in Washington, which I think works. Whereas, if everybody in New Orleans is healthy, Herb doesn't have enough offensive range for my liking. And Coulibaly, I feel like there's still a lot of untapped potential there. A lot of things that could happen with him. And I think he has a chance to be really, really good. So on both ends of the floor, defense and offense. So I'm going with Bilal Coulibaly there.
I love that because I have a different answer. I'm taking not on Herb. Dude, they have T-shirts down in New Orleans. Pelicans fans wear it's kind of like like a dead shirt you get at a dead show back in the day, like a bootleg shirt or something, right? I don't think it's in the team store, but it says not on Herb. And it's a thing about Herb Jones. You don't score on Herb, not on Herb. I love that. I'm a big Herb Jones fan, dude. You're right about the limitation in scoring. He might get to 1.5 threes, 10, 11, 12 points. But dude, the steals, man, this guy's he could lead the league in steals. Actually, I take that back. That is a year-old opinion. It's a year-old, Doc, because one man changed that. His name is Dyson Daniels. Okay. He is going to win. Doc, I don't know. He's going to win, I think, several steal titles in a row because nobody's even close to 3. 3 is ridiculous. Like if you get to 2, you're probably leading the league in steals most years. 2.1, 2.2, you're leading the league in steals. 3 is a joke. 3 is like Wemby stuff where you're like, okay, screw it. We'll just give you that. We'll all fight for second place. But so like I said, it's a year-old opinion. In a day, Doc, pre-Dyson Daniels, When you could lead the league in steals at 2.1, 2.2, Herb Jones has the potential to do that. And so I'll revise this. Herb Jones has the potential to be the second best steal guy in the NBA behind Dyson Daniels. So for that reason and that reason alone, when we are this deep in the draft and, are there any bad picks this late in the draft? Not really. So I'll take Herb Jones. I'll go for the upside with the steals and hope for a little bit more scoring. He does play with Zion. Zion hates the game, never plays. So maybe that goes on. Doc, and then this one's super deep. This is definitely last round, your final pick on your team in your draft. I position Zach Risachet and Obi Toppin. And we're in a deep league here too. This is a 14-teamer. Risachet and Toppin. Who's your last pick of that draft?
I'm going to answer that in just a moment. Are you concerned about Herb, the fact that he only played in 20 games last year?
I'm not, because he's had all of this time to recover, and they paid him. They just gave him new money.
All right, Risachet.
You're not giving a cat new money if there's like stuff going on. Like they good. He's good to go, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Risachet versus Toppin. I'm going to go with Risachet only because he was the number one pick the year before last. Like, the Hawks have got to play. They're contractually obligated to play him a ton of minutes. I do really like Obi Toppin. I like both these guys. Like, I'm going to be looking at both of them later in my drafts. Because Toppin, with Miles Turner gone, could have a nice role in Indy with Rick Carlisle. So, and he's a shot blocker, and he's exciting. He's a dunker. Like, Obi Toppin's fun, man. So I really do like Toppin, but I'm gonna say that in the heat of the moment, the heat of the battle, I would take Risachet between these two guys.
I get it. I think there's more upside with Risachet. I think Toppin could just be more solid. Doc, I'm kind of worried about Risachet a little bit. And, we got the report that Carlisle, wants to go with Huff and Jackson. And I just don't really believe the Jackson piece of that. I don't. Carlisle's never shown an inclination to give a dang about Isaiah Jackson. And I don't mean as a human. I mean, he just doesn't play him, okay? It's kind of like how Kerr treats some of his guys. He just doesn't get it. And so is that going to change all of a sudden, especially with Isaiah Jackson coming off of an Achilles injury? I see backup 5 minutes for Obi Toppin. I might be crazy. I think they would be crazy not to do that. And Rick Carlisle, I love you. But to not go with some Pascal Siakam at the 5, some Obi Toppin at the 5. I mean, dude, you just lost Miles Turner. You don't have Halliburton. Get creative. Throw like really wacky stuff at the opponent. So Doc, I don't know how that's going to look, okay? But I like the possibility there for Obi to get up to 25, 26, 27 points a game and really like show us what his stat line can be, because I think he's a goodie guy, dude. I think he is a goodie guy that has not been allowed to be a goodie guy. Maybe this is, and by the way, if it doesn't happen this year for Obi Toppin, it's never going to happen. No Hallie, no Turner. You got kind of a rebuilt team. Like, it should be Obi time. Let's make it happen. Here's my concern with Zach Risachet, Doc. I'm going to go to Atlanta's depth chart right here. Last year, okay, he started like every game, almost every game, played like 24 minutes a game. What the hell is up with that? It's completely strange that a starter's only playing, especially a young wing, is only playing 24 minutes. You got the same coach. Is he going to do the same thing? Okay. And Doc, he might, because think about this. Risachet was only playing 24 minutes a game without Jalen Johnson, who's back healthy, blah, blah, blah. Buff can look great in the summer league. He's healthy. Luke Kennard is a Hawk now. Okay. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a Hawk now. Asa Newell, fantastic pick later in the first round. And then, of course, you have a Kongwu. My point is this, Doc. Would it be a shocker if Nickeil Alexander-Walker started over Zach Risachet? Not that much. Would it be a shocker if Nikhil Alexander-Walker and Luke Kennard ate into a bunch of Ricochet time and Ricochet only played 24 minutes again this year? That would not shock me. So for all those reasons, I say the other guy, not Ricochet. I'm going with Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the Hawks, everything you said is definitely a concern. And that's Ricochet is going to be a situation to keep an eye on in the preseason for sure.
Indeed, brother man. It is Rick Kamla. It is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We are the Fantasy NBA today. Doc is fired up about fantasy football drafts. I have a mock draft here with the Sports Ethos guys starting in 19 minutes. I think I need to, Andre, is it a Fantrax deal? I think I need to get into that and kind of get on that. I'm multitasking here. But, Doc, you're all fired up about fantasy football. Our fantasy football guy, Doc, tell him it's the best in the biz. It's $6 a month, 60% off right now. I got the college side. John Mazalis and the guys got the NFL side. There's no reason for anybody to go anywhere else for their fantasy football, bro.
You are correct. I tweeted out the link to the draft guide, the football draft guide. Hell, we're already working on the NBA draft guide, but the NFL guide, it's if you have a draft coming up and you need a draft guide, it's $6. I mean, just do it.
Andre, I hope Andre's listening. Andre, he's our producer, but he's also he's doing like 3 other things.
He must be in a meeting because he has not been very responsive today.
He said he will send. Okay, he's going to send me the invite to the Fantrax thing. But yeah, that little mock is 18 minutes from now. So we'll do both. Yes, I'm capable of that. Let's get to ranking some player groups here, Doc. I give you Jakob Poeltl, Bobby Portis, Nick Claxton, and Danny Gafford. Okay, we're deep in the draft. We're looking for a late center. We got Poeltl, Portis, Claxton, Gafford.
All right, I'm top of my heading this. I'm going to go Jakob Poeltl because he's solid and underrated and flies under the radar, and nobody looks at nobody thinks about Jakob Poeltl, but I think he's pretty good when he plays. I'm going to go with Daniel Gafford just because of the blocks, and I hate the fact he splits time with Lively, but it is what it is. And then I'm going with your guy, Nick Claxton, and then I've got Bobby Portis last on that list.
Portis coming in last. All right, let's compare your list to mine. You have okay, so I have Claxton on top of this list.
Rick, your draft is a slow draft, so you just need to join it. I think they're waiting on you to join so they can fire that thing up.
And I did. I'm in the draft room right now. Me and John Mazalis are the only homies in the draft room. Nice. It says that I have the second pick, so we'll see how that goes. But that may change. Okay, so I have Claxton number 1 out of this group. He's going to play more than Gafford. He's got the 2 block upside we talked about. Why do I have him over Jakob Poeltl? Have I lost my mind? You compare Poeltl last year to Claxton last year, and it's not even close. It's obviously Poeltl. I am concerned with Toronto being tanky and shutdowny. I'm also concerned with that with Claxton, but I'm obsessed with blocks. And Poeltl is not. Claxton's going to have probably twice the blocks that Jakob Poeltl has. Done. Decision made. And Poeltl's going to have a better point total, most likely, a better rebound total, most likely. A better overall line, probably will rank higher than Nick Claxton. But what I've found is that block, steals, threes are how you win. Okay. And so Poeltl really isn't helping there. Claxton potentially is helping a lot in that block category. So I will go Claxton first, Doc. Second for me is Poeltl. Then it's Gafford, and then it's Portis. So Bobby Portis, Doc, was going to be a fantasy sensation. And then the Milwaukee Bucks went out and got Miles Turner. So here we are. Now, Bobby Portis is in the same role. Doc, he'll go 13 and 8, about a 3.5, and no defense. So he's last for us on this list, and we both agree on that. All right, Doc, let's go to the forward position. Devin Vassell, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Andrew Wiggins. They have very, very similar stat lines. So this comes down to trust, team situation, all that. Devin Vassell, OG Anunoby, the other Nick forward, Mikal Bridges, and Andrew Wiggins now of the Miami Heat.
I'm going Bridges, then I'm going OG, then I'm going Wiggins, and then Vassell. Vassell is last because of the injury crisis every year, not to mention the fact that he might get squeezed in San Antonio. I know a lot of people don't like Mikal Bridges because he has never really lived up to the hype, but he's never really bothered me. I still feel like for where you're able to draft him, you get the value that you're supposed to get at that point. So Bridges and OG have a new coach this year, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Wiggins could end up being the best guy on this list, but I got him third.
All right, Doc, we are wildly all over the place with this one right here. You go Mikal, OG, Wiggins, Vassell. I go OG, Vassell, Mikal, Wiggins. We don't have anybody in the same slot. They're all different. Okay, so let's add it up here. OG wins. I have him at 1. You have him at 2. Mikal Bridges is the second guy if we're sort of aggregating this. And then it's Vassell, and then it's Wiggins. But I go OG Anunoby, Devin Vassell, Mikal Bridges, and Andrew Wiggins. Devin Vassell has 2.5 3, 1.5 steal upside. That can happen. Will it happen? I probably wouldn't bet on both of those. But, Doc, he's still young. And think about Devin Vassell this year, okay? He's going to have the ball less. We understand that. But he's still going to be out there playing big minutes, so he's going to get steals. Maybe there's even more defensive attention for him because he doesn't have to score as much. And maybe there's more 3 balls because he's doing more catching and shooting. Just taking rocks from Wemby, taking rocks from Fox and Stephon Castle and doing his thing. So maybe he becomes kind of a 3-and-D guy, right? So I like Devin Vassell, dude. I got a little thing for him. I understand what you're saying. It's crowded. You brought talent in. You got Dylan Harper waiting in the wings over here too, in addition to the guys I just mentioned. You can't forget your guy Harrison Barnes, Doc. I mean, he lingers. He's just there to poach stats. He's a stat poacher.
Yeah, if we're just talking about basketball players, I love Devin Vassell, man. Like, I wish he was on a different team or in a different role because I love to watch him play. I think he's a baller. I just don't love him in San Antonio.
I get it. Then I have Mikal Bridges, not crazy about his stat line. Mikal, where are the steals, dude? Where are the freaking steals? Come on, bro. Like, you've got the biggest wingspan ever, which is not true, but just kind of a joke. But that's why I've got Mikal. That's why I'm not a huge Mikal Bridges guy. Dude, I scouted him out at Nova. I'm like, this guy's going to be a steal machine. He started his NBA career as a steal machine in Phoenix. He was pretty much a steal machine. And ever since he got to New York, be it Brooklyn and then the Knicks, he doesn't steal the rock anymore. It's crazy. And there's a lot of crime in New York. You think that would fit right in? I'm going to become more of a thief in New York than I would be in casual, lovely, beautiful Phoenix. But I got OG, then Vassell, then Mikal, and then Wiggins. The Wiggins thing, Doc, is Norman Powell. Norman Powell kind of bum rushed that. Like, because I had a little Wiggins thing when Wiggins was the third option behind Bam and Hero. I'm like, I kind of like Wig this year. He looks like 16, 17 points a game and just kind of decent stats from there. I'll let you guys take Wiggins this year now that Storm and Norman is there. Doc, let's go to the forward position. Again, late in drafts here, okay? This is Sleeperville, if you will. I give you Jaden McDaniels of the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kelly Oubre of Nick Nurse's Philadelphia 76ers, Tobias Harris, your second or third favorite player, and Jonathan Kuminga. All right, fans, I hope we're loving this. I hope you guys are loving this. We are helping you. Like, think about this. You guys are like, wow, Jaden McDaniels, Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, Jonathan Kuminga. It's like you just spilled an entire puzzle on the table. All the puzzle pieces, oh my God, how do I make sense of this? That's why we're here. We're here to help. So, Doc, how do we make sense of that cluster right there?
I'm going Kelly Oubre just because of his fantasy-friendly stat line. Then I'm going to go Jaden McDaniels just because I like what he did last year. We know he's got a role. We know what it is. We know what we're going to get from him. And then I'm going to go Johnny Kuminga, who is pissed off at the Warriors, and the Warriors don't like him. Like, this is a weird situation. I just want it to be over. Like, give the guy the deal he wants or move him to something. And then Tobias Harris, my favorite young old man, Tobias Harris.
Man, you hate Tobias Harris, bro.
I don't. He just bores me.
I get it, dude. I do. I get it. We have, again, an incredibly different list, bro. That's why we do this. We're here to help and/or maybe even confuse you more. But you know, there are winners that emerge from these. Like Jakob Poeltl won the first one that we did, right? You had him one, I had him two. So I'll give you the winners here. The winner here is Kelly Oubre of this cluster. Kelly Oubre, Jaden McDaniels, Jonathan Kuminga, Tobias Harris. With our rankings and our view on this, the winner here, the takeaway guy is Kelly Oubre. Because I have Tobias Harris first on this list, Doc. He's boring. He is, but he's solid. He's still solid. And this is a weird group. Okay. This is not the sexiest group of all time, obviously. So I go Tobias, then I go Oubre. I know what I'm getting from both of those two guys. I agree with what you said about Jaden McDaniels. Look back at his stat line from last year. Remember, he had those moments. He had those, especially like, it felt like second half of the year. Like he kind of really took off and there were some big stat lines from him. He was the talk of the town over here on the Fantasy NBA today. But look at his overall stat line for the year. It's not that impressive, bro. It's not. Decent fantasy gold. The PRA was horrible. And so I got him third. And then Kuminga. Dude, I have a feeling Golden State, the ruthless, they're the fucking evil empire, dude. They're so ruthless to jam up Kuminga like this. And what they're forcing Kuminga to do, dude, this is a bluff situation. I can't stand how Golden State is operating here. Now, they're not breaking any rules with this. I think ethically it's effed up what they have done and what they're continuing to do to Kuminga. So they're lowballing him, right? What was it, $22 million a year, something like that? It's a 1-year deal, basically. There's a team option on this. Kuminga's like, you're hitting me with a team option in year 2? Bleep you, buddy. No, I'm looking for long-term money here. And Jonathan Kuminga should get long-term money right now. But Golden State doesn't want to do it, Doc. So they're forcing Kuminga to take the qualifying offer, which is low dough. It's good money for you and I, but Kuminga's not. Kuminga thinks, this year I should be making $20 million a year. He may make $8 million. Okay. And, oh, by the way, let's twist the knife and come off the bench. How's that feel? Because he's not starting over Moody, Poge, Curry, Draymond, and Butler. He's not starting for that team, bro. Dude, Johnny, y'all, I'm serious right now. I'm drafting Joel Embiid before I'm drafting Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga is a hard no, dude. It's a hard no. I don't like his stat set. I hate his situation. It's a hard no for me. So I got him fourth on this list.
That's a solid breakdown right there.
Warriors, man. Dude, they're mean and ruthless, bro.
Yeah, that's how much I don't like Tobias Harris.
They're mean and ruthless out there. And now, think about this, Doc. Al Horford. Remember him? Not signed. D'Anthony Melton. Not signed. Russell, all of these guys are jammed up because of Jonathan Kuminga. All of these players are jammed up. The league. There's a monkey wrench thrown into the entire league operations right now. No transactions are happening right now of any significance because the Kuminga situation has not been resolved in Golden State. It's not jammed up because of the Giddey situation in Chicago. It's not jammed up because of the Cam Thomas situation in Brooklyn. It's jammed up because of the Golden State Warriors thing. Because Al Horford might go to Denver. He might go to Golden State. He may go somewhere else. It all depends on the Kuminga thing. Dude, Adam Silver's got a problem on his hands, bro. He's got a problem on his hands. He does. The way these these RFAs are being treated, it's like unconstitutional, bro. It is. I think it's horrible. I think it's absolutely horrible. This isn't how you treat people, man. This isn't how you treat people. These guys deserve to be paid. They put the work in to get paid. They put the stats on the back of their basketball card to get paid. And now it comes time to get paid. And all these teams are like, well, there's nobody else out there with money, so I don't have to pay you. It's a gigantic freaking problem for Adam Silver. This CBA sucks. Sorry, I get
Dude,
fired up.
This new CBA has ruined a lot of things. Like, it's ruined trading, it's ruined free agency, it's messed up a lot of things. They've made it so hard. Like, this small town that I live in, like, to open a business here, you have to jump through so much red tape and BS and crap that nobody wants to do it. And then everybody complains, well, why aren't we getting new business here? It's because it sucks to try to do business here. And that's how I feel about the CBA in the NBA. Like, it makes it very hard for these teams to do business. And it would be a lot more fun if people could do what they wanted to do.
It's all leverage, bro. And the players have none of it. And the teams have all of it. And that is completely effed up. Doc, we got 4 more groups to rank here. We may go a little over an hour here unless Andre, we may go a little over an hour here, but let's try to kind of fast track this. Okay. Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, De'Aaron Fox, Jamal Murray.
My order is Brunson, Mitchell, Fox, then Murray. I'm not a Jamal Murray guy. I love Jalen Brunson. I'm torn between whether heat of the moment I would draft Mitchell over Fox or vice versa, but I've got Mitchell ranked ahead of Fox. So my order is Brunson, Mitchell, Fox, Murray.
I'm surprised that you have Brunson over Donovan Mitchell. Surprised about that. I don't hate it. I didn't think you were going to rock that way because I know you're a Donovan Mitchell guy too. I love both of these guys, obviously, but I'm Mitchell. I'm going to take Mitchell over Brunson. The steals are much different, and the 3 balls, frankly, are better for Mitchell too. I think Brunson might have more assists, and I think he might have more points. But I think Donovan's going to have more threes and steals. So I go Donovan there. Brunson is a very close second in that, Doc. Then De'Aaron Fox, and then Jamal Murray for a lot of the reasons that you said. I mean, I am a Jamal Murray guy, okay? But De'Aaron Fox has more potential. Jamal Murray blocks shots, dude. He'll give you like 0.7 blocks, 0.6 blocks. I mean, he like throws some blocks in there. I'm cool with Jamal Murray. I definitely rock with him in fantasy, but he is 4th on this list. So the winner here, there really is none, Doc. Brunson and Mitchell are a tie. With both of us right there. All right, on the guard list, Doc, we're going deep here. I give you Christian Brown, Brandon Pajemski, and Jaden Ivey. Remember him? He's back. Brown, Podes, and Ivey.
I like them in the order that they are presented in. Brown, then Podes, then Ivey. Guys coming off of big injuries scare me. It's crowded in that Detroit backcourt too.
I'm going Poge first on this list, bro. I got a little Poge vibe this year. I think Brandon Pajemski's going to be nice. I do, Doc. I think he's going to be nice. He's one of my favorite sleepers. I think we're getting like a 12, 6, and 5 with 2+ threes and like a steal and a half. I think it's going to be just a Dante DiVincenzo low-key goodie line. Then I've got Jaden Ivey, and then I've got Christian Brown. Christian Brown's lack of threes and steals is a buzzkill for me. Jaden Ivey, Doc, if you aggregate his 3 years, has gone 16, 4, and 4 with like 2 threes and like right out of steal. All right. It's not a great stat line, but it's a pretty good stat line. And there's still upside. He's a young dude. So I'll go Poge, then Ivy, then Brown. I like them all, and I would mess with them all. Here's one more. RJ Barrett, Malik Monk, Norman Powell, Josh Hart. Rank away, Doc.
This one makes my head hurt, sir. I'm going to go Josh Hart first. Then I'm going, dude, I got Josh Hart first, and then the other three, I feel like I could take any of them in any draft. I want to say Norm Powell second, but I don't like him going with Andrew Wiggins in Miami. So I don't like what Powell's going to do to Wiggins. I don't like what Wiggins is going to do to Powell. All right. I'm going to go Josh Hart, RJ Barrett, Malik Monk, Norm Powell. That was hard. I did not like that.
We are the winner here is RJ Barrett, Doc. You've got Hart, RJ, Monk, Powell. I've got RJ, Monk, Hart, Powell. So RJ's the winner here. I would say that Hart's probably second, and then Powell's definitely last on this list. We both have him last. Guys, we don't hate Norman Powell, okay? Last year was a career year. That's an auto fade for me the next year, and not a big steal guy. And I don't think this year is going to be a big three-ball guy because of all the mouths they have to feed there. RJ Barrett is a terrific PRA guy. Fantasy Gold, not so much, but these are slim pickings here. And there's a shutdown possibility, but I'm going with it anyway. RJ Barrett, then Monk, then Hart, then Powell. And I can tell you right now that Josh Hart, Norman Powell will not be on any of my teams. They are not soft fades. They are full fades. And so that's how I got the list. All right, Doc, we have come to the FanDuel win total portion of our show. We have the Indiana Pacers here, Doc, your Pacers. The Pacers who cost me so much money during the NBA Finals, as you know, Doc. The FanDuel win total on the Sirs, as they call them, is 37.5. You going up or down on that, brother?
Yes, sir. They won 50 games last year. Yes, Tyrese Halliburton is gone. Yes, Miles Turner is gone. But we're talking about the Bulldog, Rick Carlisle, coaching this team. He's not going to just roll over and tank and not win a bunch of games. I'm going over on that number. The FanDuel over total, I'm going to crush that.
This is a smash. This isn't a play. This is a smash. This is a 2-unit, 3-unit, 5-unit. Come on, man. In this East, stop it. 37.5. That's a slap in the face. That's disrespectful. I think it's completely not understanding the talent on the roster and overreacting to the Turner departure. And I mean, Halliburton being out's huge, but damn, dude, 37.5. Come on, man. I've got them number 6 in the East. So I've got them probably docket like 44 wins, right? 43 wins, 44, 45 wins, something like that. I mean, I don't have a crazy high win total on them, but I think they were going to slaughter this number right here of 37.5. I do not think we'll be sweating this one out all the way to the end. So, guys, go to FanDuel, get your bet on, get your investment on, and put your vibes to use and try to monetize them. Guys, we're answering audience questions during the offseason. Drop your questions in the YouTube video comments. We'll get to as many of them as we possibly can. Really want you to download the Sports Ethos app. It's free. Go to your app store, MLB, NFL, NBA blurbs, continuous, and subscribe to our work over at sportsethos.com. We would greatly appreciate that. All right, we will be back. Doc, I believe the show is hitting on Thursday, maybe Friday, but the next time we'll be on will be with the great Aaron Brewski, and we've got a cool episode planned. We're going to go through players 34 and older, and are we drafting or fading them? So I want to tease you a little bit for the next episode when me and Doc will be joined by Aaron Brewski right here on the Fantasy NBA Today, which has been brought to you by FanDuel. We will see you guys soon.
Less than an hour, man. We did it.